You are live. It says I'm live. Hopefully I'm live. Someone let me know if I'm live. All right. What's going on, guys? Welcome to the first ever Noob Rebirth live. We're doing it today. For those who don't know, COVID has shut down everything down here, and I can't make it a Big City Comic, so I thought I'd do this live stream. Anyway, thank you for joining us. The few people in the chat. Cillian, my little buddy, he was the first in. He beat you, Sharon. Sharon coming in second. We got Think Geek Theory. Check out his YouTube channel. He has joined the YouTube community now. And OG Space Buns, my gal. All right. Is that who's watching? No, we've got 3 people watching so far. All right. Anyway, I'm just gonna get going. People can jump in. So today we're going to talk about comic book spec and collecting habits. And for those who are watching, I was hoping there was going to be, we got Sarah in the house as well. All right. So for those watching, I'm going to bring in my partner in crime, the one and only. Please drop a high mark in the comments for my buddy, Mark at Big City Comics. Say hi, Mark.
Hi, Mark.
All right. So welcome to the first Noob Rebirth Live. How are you feeling about this?
Nervous at first, but I'm ready to do this.
Hey, your buddy Con is in the chat as well.
Hey, Con, what's going on, bro?
And we got all the high marks dropping in now. There we go. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mark. Love it. Love it.
Oh, it's my first hashtag. Hi, Mark. Thanks.
Mate, I'm telling you, mate. I'm making you're everybody's favorite LCS owner. Tell me, since there's not that many people here right now, how do you know
what LCS? What?
Local comic shop.
Oh, sorry, I'm not.
Who's the noob now? Who's the noob now?
Sorry, man. Your lingo. All right.
Yeah, no, I'm learning all that. I don't know anything about comic books, but I know all the lingo. Tell me, how do you know Con?
How do I know Con? Oh, he's one of my friends, I suppose, and he's a good customer of mine. He lives in another state, so he puts these orders through probably just phone calls, and we keep in touch probably once a week at least. I was put on to him, or he was put on. He was another friend of mine recommended me to him.
Okay.
But and I suppose we have become good friends. I would have to say. You know, we were similar in age, and were similar in I don't know, minds, I suppose, when it comes to comics. That's for sure.
Okay, interesting. Just because hey, we've got another one here. Paul Mike, thanks for joining us. Just because, yeah, Con, I just noticed, obviously he comments on my videos, and then he told me he knew you. He won one of my giveaways. And then I've just noticed him everywhere in the YouTube community now. He's always watching everyone's videos. So he's a big supporter of the YouTube comic book community. Okay, so let's get into it. So first thing we're going to talk about is comic book spec. Do you know what I'm talking about?
What do you mean by comic book spec? I've never heard this. Is a term that I've
basically
heard.
when people
use it a lot.
When there's hype around a book, essentially. So I'll give you an example. The first example. So I've got 3, I guess, stories or topics to sort of talk about with you about this. Best example I can think of recently would be, hey, over easy, Robin King. The first appearance of Robin King recently came out, which was the Legends of the Dark Knight. And the week it came out, man. So because it was the first appearance, there were shops selling it online for $30 the week it came out. So a regular shelf book that should have been on the shelf was selling for 3 times the price the week it came out from comic book shops. I want to know how you feel about that, because I know that's something you don't do, but I want to know how you feel.
Well, it really depends. Look, in my what I think is everyone has to run their business the way they seem proper. I think that's one thing. And another thing is, if you're an online store, I think it's, look, the issues I have is that if someone puts it on a pre-order and then you don't, and then you sell it you sell it to him at that market price, which is, $30. So that's not fair, because he pre-ordered it, so he deserves that at that cover price.
Yeah, so I just find it. I mean, I don't understand how you're even allowed to do such a thing on the weekly release. Like, you're not even giving people a chance to buy it at the shelf price. I call it shelf price, by the way. Everyone calls it cover price, but the reason I call it shelf price is because when you once said to me, the first time I ever heard you say cover price was when you sold me a book, and I remember it got damaged in transit, and you said, "Hey man, I'll sell you this book at cover price." And when you said cover price, you meant the literal US cover price.
Yeah.
I find a lot of people here will still say cover price when technically it's not, because we pay obviously the difference for the Australian dollar. But you sold me that book at cover price, the US price, which was like $4.
Yeah.
And then when the book came in again, you got another copy. You just gave that to me for free. So just so people know, that's the kind of shop owner that Mark is. He's not going to take advantage of his customers.
Stop that. Stop that. You're going to make me blush, man. Come on.
So going back to what you said before, you said obviously if people have it on their pull list, on their standing orders, they should get the book at that price. So I've heard just so many stories of people who have a pull list with their comic shop, and then key issues get pulled. So I'll give you an example. So this is one of the stories I was going to bring up. My buddy Super Russ, who is a fellow YouTuber, he doesn't buy modern books. He doesn't really collect modern books anymore. There's only 2 titles he collects. Now, I believe from memory, it's Thor and Captain Marvel. They're the 2 books that he collects, I think, and have on his pull list. So when Captain Marvel issue 18 came out, that was the one with the hammer, yeah? On the cover?
Yeah. She's holding it up. No, she was doing something with it anyway.
Yeah. So he shows up, and he shows up, and his shop owner's like, "Oh, I don't have that book for you. Sorry." And apparently, same thing with issue 19, Captain Marvel 19. They're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't get that book for you," even though it's on his pull list. And then he'll be like, "Here's a flipper." Next thing you know, he'll be on his wall selling for 3 times the price.
That's not fair. You can't do that. That's dishonest.
And I have another friend of mine for the same thing, who shops at a shop that I won't name, Alternate Worlds, and the same thing. So you didn't hear that. I didn't say that. So one of my buddies who shops at a shop called Alternate Worlds, he same thing. He's been a customer of theirs for over 20 years, man. I've told you this on that other video. And by the way, guys who are watching, I didn't tell Mark that this was going to happen. I don't like putting him on the spot. I know he doesn't like talking about other shops.
It's not my business. It's none of my business.
But it is bad business. That's right. That's right, Paul Mike. It is definitely bad business.
I agree, Paul Mike. It's bad business.
But especially for a customer who's been with you for 20 years, right? So he will say he shows up sometimes, and a key issue will suddenly just not be there. And he was like, "Why is that not there?" And they'll and try to come up with an excuse, "Oh, we didn't get it," or something. And then he'll see it on their wall for a bunch of, for 3 times the price the following week.
I refuse to do that. I refuse. I know you've mentioned it before. You've seen, like you've done, where you've seen books on my shelf that have been there for like probably about 2 months.
Yeah. I've been saying on some of my videos. Oh no, Con, that sucks. I've been saying in some of my videos about Strange Academy issue 1. The reason I picked that up is obviously I heard a lot of people say it was really good. And then my same mate who shops at Alternate Worlds, was saying, "Hey man, that's a really good read. You should get it because it's also a hot book right now." And I remember I had it in my hand at your shop. There was 1 copy left. And I didn't buy it. And then I think the following week I called you. I was like, "Hey man, do you still have it? Because I want it." And at the time, I didn't know yet. I picked it up off you, and then I actually looked up online, and people were already selling it for like $40.
Yeah,
And you still had it sitting on your shelf. You had it sitting on your shelf. Issue 2 was coming out that week, and you still had it on your shelf at the shelf price. So, yeah, that's why.
The reason it's hard to get or it's expensive is because it's got a lot of debut characters, new debut characters. That's why. And it's like the Xavier School for Magic, instead of being for mutants, it's for Magic. So that's one thing that the X-Men I think have gone away from, was the school thing. So they wanted to, and that school thing premise, it resonated with a lot of the younger readers, and they haven't got that anymore with the X-Men. So I think that's a good direction for them to go to.
Yeah. Do you think this kind of stuff though kind of hurts the comic book
industry? Of course it does. Of course it does. And the big two, especially the big two, Marvel and DC, they see that, but they can't. There's no way. The only way they can, I suppose, take advantage of that is, they're trying to with the facsimiles, and which we've spoken before. They try to cash in on that notoriety of books. With the older books, they go for 20 grand, but that's nothing. 20 or 10 grand or $1,000. The big two don't get a piece of that.
Yeah, exactly. So, that's the weird thing about I just feel like it almost should be against the law to be able to sell a book the week it comes out for that kind of price. If you're a shop, I mean, if you're a flipper, that's one thing. But if you're a shop and you're a business,
it's not illegal. It shouldn't be illegal, but it's common sense. Like have a bit of ethics about it. It's like we've had that issue, or we've had that episode before where we talked about comic book shop ethics. So it's just a question of ethics. That's all. I'm there to make some money. Of course, I'm running a business, but I'm also there to make myself happy, to make everyone else happy, and I'll continue to do that. I'm trying very hard not to let the industry burn me or make me disgruntled or sort of stuff like that. I always have a clear vision of how I started, and I want to continue with that. I don't want to become a jaded comic book store owner, which a lot of them are.
Yeah. Yeah, I just find, but you've been like that from the beginning. I remember there was some books which because before I had a standing order with you, I think, or even maybe I didn't. I just didn't know about certain books. I wanted them, and you'd sold out. And then you'd be like, I could tell that you sold out. I'd be like, I got one left, man. But I could tell that one was your copy. You know what I mean? So
I do that a lot. I do that a lot. Take stuff out of my own standing order and put it into people's standing order. And then I just order one for myself. And if I can get it, I get it. If I can't, I can't.
Yeah.
But I do that a lot. Yes.
What a guy, right? What a guy. So, Captain Comics in the house. Howdy, mates. All right. So, one last story I want to talk to you about on the same topic, right? Again, about comic book Spec. So recently there was another book that kind of blew up because of a certain character, right? And the other day, one of your customers hit me up on Instagram to tell me this story. One of your customers, he messaged me, he was like, this is what happened with this shop called Alternate Worlds. I won't name the shop, Alternate Worlds. And so he hit me up and said that there is, hey, Tonesta, what's up?
Hey, Tony.
Nice,
hey, guys, Tony.
Very nice. So, yes, he told me that he ordered a book because there's a Superman book which features the first appearance of Bloodsport, I believe, who's going to be in the new Suicide Squad movie, right?
Issue 24, I think.
So it had 4 in it. I know it had 4 in it. Had 4 in it. So, the cough's getting worse. Yeah, must be that COVID. So he said he bought the book. He bought a stack of books, and one of them was that. And it was $8.50, right? $8.50. Good deal on a first appearance book, right? Bought it, And how that shop works is, I won't name them again, Alternate Worlds, and you play, because I've bought from them before, obviously. So you make the order online, and then they don't take the money from you, and it just goes into processing. They don't actually take the order from the money out of your account until they've actually finalized and processed the order. So it will sit there processing, and sometimes it takes them days. It will take them sometimes 4 to 5 days to finish processing this order. So he checked, he got an email saying your order's still processing, but your invoice has been updated. So he checked. Hey, Shana. So he checked, and that book went from $8.50 to $75 and sold out. Sold out and $75. So this is on our website for $8.50 available. You bought it, and all of a sudden, sorry, we can't supply it to you because it's sold out, and now it's $75.
There's a thing that they should be introduced to, and I've said this to you before, is called consumer law, Victorian consumer law.
Exactly right. And that's
you can't do that.
I know. So it happens over and over. So for those of you who are watching, if you haven't watched one of our older episodes called Comic Shop Ethics, it was about how this same shop did a similar thing to me, where there was a book I wanted, and it wasn't even that much spec on it, right? I actually bought it because of the cover. I always wanted that cover. And they actually put the book aside for my friend who shops there.
Hey, Scott.
They messaged him and said that the book is ready to go. It's in your box. They messaged him, hey, come get your book. It's in there for you. He comes, and all of a sudden it's not there. Oh, sorry, I don't know why it's not there. Next thing you know, he looks on the website. It's doubled in price and sold out. So why did you message me to tell me it was in there?
Right? Yeah, that's just how what? That's just, how could you do that? That's just bad. I remember you telling me that. I was like head shaking stuff. I think I was shaking my head for like a week. Ladies.
Yeah. All right. Well, we'll wrap up the comic book spec talk, and let me just do some more shout outs. I'm new to all this, guys, so I know you guys like getting shouted out. So I can't remember if
he's new to everything, man.
It's like I was born yesterday. So we had poor Mike Join, we had Over Easy, my boy Over Easy. He makes some great videos, guys. Check him out if you haven't checked out Over Easy. I shouted him out in our comic shop movie episode twice. So Con, of course, we got so Scott Liston, Chicken Lex is in the house. Who else we got? That's new. We had Captain come in. Tonestar. Never watched my videos, but he's here live. And he's at work along with Ashana. And yes, all right. So thank you. So the next topic I had, how are we going for time? 18 minutes. That's all right. You know, for guys who watch our videos, we chat, I film our videos and they go for about 30 to 40 minutes, and I have to edit all that down into like 15 minutes. It's not an easy task.
A talker. If you've not even noticed, I'm a bit of a talker. And
because I put you on the spot as well, I notice you stutter a lot when you're thinking, right? So I actually shorten your stutter a lot with editing, just so you know.
Therapy right there.
All right. So this next topic is going to be collecting habits. I forgot to do this before, but let's do this.
Just imagine the music. Dun, 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 dun.
No, I couldn't do that. You got to pay money to do that sort of fancy stuff. So next topic is my collecting habits. So recently I've noticed, well, not recently, but I spend a lot of money on books. So on average,
hang on, are we talking about just comic books or collecting in general?
Comic books, just comic books. So yes, sorry, this is just, I should change that, but no, we get it. It's comic book.
I'll just have to. I got my dildo collection out. I'll have to put that back. Just give me a sec.
Hey, mate, there's kids watching, mate. You can't be talking about you. What are you doing?
Well, that's for them to go and ask their parents what it was that I just said.
Yes. No fun with that. So, I on a weekly basis, my average of what I spend is anywhere from.
Scotty, come on, man, take it easy. You love it.
Yeah, that's true. That's true. So yeah, I spend on average probably anywhere from say probably minimum $90 all the way up to over $200 sometimes, right? In a week. In a week, just from you. So I guess I want to talk to you about any sort of advice that you would have of what I should do, because I'm starting to get to a point, because obviously I'm not reading as much as I used to. I've been trying to read lately as well because I've got time off work. What did you guys say about me? I'm at work. We said everything about you, Tony. You're gonna have to go back and watch the replay. Have fun with that. Simon spends too much. Yeah, exactly. Right. So I keep doing cover buys and all this sort of stuff. So I guess I want to talk about how you collect, how you used to, because obviously you don't collect like you used to.
No.
But because I know you told me just before that you do still collect, but I know you don't collect like you used to, right? So when did you stop collecting like you used to? Is it just since you've had the shop?
Yeah, pretty much. When I made the when I made the decision, I sort of started collecting. I started thinking like a shop owner, so I started collecting more for the I suppose for the shop. And then when I started opening a shop, a lot of that stuff had to take a back seat. Like I've got a lot of still some gaps here and there, and like a detective, my old detective stuff and my old Batman stuff. One or two issues here and there, which I had to stop. But it's Batman and is probably one of my unbroken runs that and probably X-Men. But
Okay.
I haven't gone there in a long time. Like I haven't looked at what I need in a long time, and I didn't want to, because then I've got other priorities, I suppose. But I still collect. I've gotten more into the indie stuff lately, and that's probably based on my age.
Well, I think that's
my maturity.
And that's what I've mentioned to you recently. I really think I should have started with indies when I first started into comic books. I mean, that's even harder to figure out what indie titles you want, unless you've got a comic shop owner who's going to talk you through it, which no one talks. Like, you're the only one that really approaches the customers in a shop and says, hey, what are you after? How can I help you? And if there's any noobs, you're always like there to offer them assistance. Most other comic shops you go into here, they'll talk to you if you ask them questions or talk to them, but they won't approach you ever.
Yeah, that's probably like a cliche thing when it comes to comic book shop attendees, or the person behind the counter. It's a cliche thing. It's a cliche thing. Like I tell people it's like think of it like the comic book shop guy on The Simpsons. Most of them are like that. Condescending, arrogant, that sort of thing.
Shots fired.
Yeah, well, that's true. You go to I've been to comic book shops myself. Like when I was younger and when I was collecting, and you want to buy something, they look at you and they go, "Is that what you're going to buy? Really? I mean, dude, doesn't matter what I buy. Doesn't matter what I'm reading. That's none of your concern. Your concern is that I'm putting money over the counter, And instead of being negative, be positive about it. That's one thing that I learned from being a collector and on the guy on the other side of the counter is everyone's different. Everyone has different reading habits, and you got to accept that, and you got to love that for what that is. So a lot of people like that.
Just what Scott's saying here. Incognito is a shop I actually haven't been to, and I actually really want to check them out.
Incognito, great. I love those guys. I speak to.
I listen to their podcast. They've got a podcast called Some Like It Slabbed, where they review every week's book. So that's a great podcast. I would like to go down and meet those guys one day and do a video with them. Don't get jealous, Mark, when I do that.
I'll try not to stalk you on that week. Don't tell me.
Classic Comics was great too. Yes, I bought some books off their online store recently, off their eBay store.
Yeah, Classic was good too. Yeah, Classic was okay. Yeah, I agree.
But just going back to your collecting, right? So obviously, when I say you don't collect like you used to, you used to collect, like as in like you've got all your like the books you showed me when we played our Poor Man's Comic Brews. Like there was some good stuff. Like I was so excited to do that with you because I was excited to see your collection, and you didn't disappoint.
So one thing that I really loved collecting was I loved collecting like movie covers or covers of movie characters, or I used to get, or I loved signed stuff. I love signatures. I used to love signatures. I was more into the signatures than I was into key covers or into key issues. So signatures for me were a big thing.
I noticed actually something that kind of upset me a little bit, Mark. I was flicking through your eBay store the other night, and I saw one of the books that you played against me in that Comic Growers video.
And which one was that?
You're selling your Jim Lee signed Superman book.
I am. I've got a couple of them. I've got a couple of them.
Okay. I've actually got a.
I've got a couple of them.
Okay, that's right then. Well, I actually won again on YouTube the other day. I won a signed Jim Lee book, baby.
Ooh.
Yeah, so that's on its way. I'm excited to get that from Daymares. So check out him as well, Daymares. But yeah, I just noticed that obviously you don't collect like that anymore. You're not going to go out of your way to buy these expensive books anymore because you've got a shop. You've got
So that's right. So I tend to, but at the same time, I have inside, like, because I've got access to the Diamond portal. I have access to a lot of that stuff, signed stuff, and a variant cover stuff that I look at and go, "Ooh, would I like that?" Or would I sell that? I have one of those moments sometimes where I look at it and say, would I like to have that in my collection, or would I get it in to sell it? And sometimes I just get it in, then I decide when it comes in. Sometimes I do keep it. Sometimes I put it up onto eBay or put it in one of my glass cabinets.
So what do you think I should do? I mean, because my thought is this. I've been thinking this for like months now, and I just can't bring myself to do it. And I think the collector in me, I keep thinking I should just start reading trades and then just purely cover buy. The only problem is, if I really like a run, I'm always going to want the full single issue.
Yeah, look, I've always said this, and this is one of the questions I ask the new people new to comics is, do you want to collect or do you want to read? And so that's the question you have to figure out for yourself. Obviously, people who collect, they would have to get the floppies. People who just want to read, then the trades would be the.
Another good thing, like Paul Mike's saying that you've got to wait for trades. The good thing is what I do now is when I collect single issues, I rarely now read the issues issue by. I rarely read. When I do, I like to have 3 issues at least that have built up, so I can then read 3 issues in a row. I just prefer it that way. The story sticks in my head better that way. So trades is kind of doing the same thing.
But there are certain trades that are collectible as well, like especially when they go out of print, they become collectible. So I remember there was Emerald Dawn, the Green Lantern origin. There was Emerald Dawn trade, and it's been out of print for years. Now they just reprint it in both Emerald Dawn and Emerald Dawn 2. But back in the day, they released the book Emerald Dawn, and it's out of print, and it's an expensive trade now, like massively expensive. And a lot of the out of print Hellboy stuff is very expensive, and some trades are very, very collectible, like the Killing Joke trade or the Killing Joke graphic novel. That is the first print is massively expensive.
Yeah, but that's all that was. That wasn't released in issues.
Correct. So, but still, that are collectible,
100%. Yeah. So I don't know. I just because I feel like I need to. Something's got to give, and I keep. If anything, now that I'm getting the previews book, I'm ordering even more.
Yeah, I know, right? So look, how I did it when I was collecting, there were some books that I just wanted to read, so I just bought the trade. So, for instance, I wanted to read Jeff Johns' run on Green Lantern when he was doing Green Lantern, from Rebirth from Rebirth all the way, right? So from Green Lantern Rebirth that he did, not Rebirth as in the recent Rebirth, DC Rebirth, but Green Lantern Rebirth. So I wanted to read that, but I didn't want to collect it. So I just bought the trades. Every month I bought the trade, like that it came out. You know, I had it on my standing order, so I bought that trade and I bought the Green Lantern Corps. It was great run, and I don't regret buying them. I don't regret reading it, and I've got them. I read them, and I absolutely treasure them. They're such a great story. So that was one way to go that I went. You know, like I didn't want to collect it, I just wanted to read it. So you can make a choice off like that.
Yeah, I just do you know, so I think I definitely suffer from FOMO.
So true, Scotty.
Yeah, okay. And also one of your customers I was talking about before is in the house too, in the chat.
Brenda, what's going on? The V-Man.
Yeah. You missed your story, Brendan. You already missed it. You're gonna have to watch the replay. So one of the things I've been thinking is just how I go about cutting certain, I was saying I feel like I suffer from FOMO. Do you know what FOMO is?
Oh, no, I do not know what FOMO is.
So FOMO.
Scott Morrison with a fro?
FOMO is the fear of missing out.
Oh, jeez.
And that's what I'm talking about, going back to the Spec thing, right? So I feel like there's certain books where I'm always going to collect Batman. I think I'll always collect probably Red Hood, Nightwing, and it's mostly Batman stuff that I'll always collect. But then there's some stuff I just don't feel like I necessarily need to get, you know what I mean? And I could just collect it in trade to read it.
But that's where your cover buys come in. That's why you buy the cover. That's, you know what I mean? So the trades, the cover buys for you is obviously for the art, and you want to say that you've got one. And plus, at the end of the day, like, it's with everything that's collected, that's everything that you collect. Like, you know, in general, vinyl, records, pops, statues. It's all about supply and demand. So, and that's why comic book companies like DC, Marvel, Image, all of them, they only print a certain amount. They base their printing on orders, and then they print a little bit more. And then what happens is once that sells out, then that's when the book starts to rise in value. And then they always have a plan to release it in second print from the get-go. They're not stupid. It's all planned.
Yeah, but my problem is if I take a book off my orders and then it comes out, next thing you know, fucking everyone's selling it for like 3 times the price.
I'll give you an example with one of those books that you took off with Suicide Squad.
Yeah,
yes. So now you're scrambling. Oh, get me this. Oh, no, I need this. I need this.
I was enjoying the read. The reason I cancelled it is because the characters didn't really appeal to me, but it was a good read. It was a good read. And
I'm so disappointed in you, man. Your boy, Tom Taylor.
My boy, Tom Taylor, yep.
Hey, man.
Can you confirm? I didn't know this, but I was scared it was going to happen. But Paul Mike has just hurt my feelings here.
What?
Is that being cancelled? I just said in my video, I think the other day, that I hope it's not getting cancelled because I heard of all these books getting cancelled. So hopefully that's not true, Mike.
Even if the book is being cancelled, they're not going to cancel the character, so he'll turn up somewhere else.
Yeah. Ugh. All right. All right. So I'll put an end to that. Let's just do another shout out to some new people who arrived. I saw starting from God Tank. I saw God Tank in here. God Tank showed up. Who else we got that's new? Grey Man showed up. Russ showed up briefly. I know he's got some stuff going on.
I see Brendan doesn't like alternate worlds either.
Yeah, no, Brendan, mate, he's carrying my hashtag. I created that hashtag. It's a reality of the hashtag. So everyone, secretly plant fuck alternate worlds in all your comic book posts from now on. Let's start a revolution. Screw those guys.
I have nothing to do with that. I disclaimer. That is a full disclaimer from me. Yeah. I do not know.
I know.
bagging other comic book stores. Okay,
Trust me.
I'm separated.
I didn't really want to bring this up because I know you weren't going to be about me doing this, which is why I'm going to do a separate episode, which is all about this hashtag you see right here. I'm going to do a separate episode, and Mark will have nothing to do with it because I know he doesn't. That's not his bag. We got Comic Mag Musings. Thank you for joining us. And Vinny, of course. Vinny is in the house. Vinny, who spoiled Thor for me. He told me what happened in the recent issue of Thor. So, all right. Well, that's the two topics I had to talk about. Now, with the remaining time, I do want to keep this under an hour. While we're here, maybe we'll talk a little bit about DC fandom and your thoughts on some of that stuff, because I know I'm sure you got excited about a lot of that stuff. Oh, J2K, all the way from Scotland in the house. Thank you for joining us, mate. Personally, I love reading singles. I work 3 jobs, so I don't get time to read. Yeah. The only problem with reading singles for me as well is my memory is like a goldfish. If I read issue by issue, by the time the next month comes out, I don't remember what happened. So, like, I just recently read, I told you I picked up Deadly Class again for the first time in over a year. I read the first 6 issues and I loved it. And then I read another 5 issues the other day, but I couldn't, and it was so good. Deadly Class, guys, if you haven't read Deadly Class, it might be my favorite book. But I couldn't, I remembered some bits, but there was a lot of things I couldn't remember from the first 6 issues. Anyway, let's go to DC fandom. I didn't prepare a banner for it, so we'll just put
Fandom. Geez, what a bit of a, like, at first, I suppose when it was first announced that they're not going to do anything with San Diego Comic-Con, they were going to have their own sort of thing. Like, it was, everyone was pretty much, I think everyone was a bit put off. Like, what are they going to do, man? Yeah, so, but they're not cancelling the book. Sorry, just to jump in there, they're not cancelling the book. They're cutting out the title Red Hood and the Outlaws, or Red Hood.
Oh, that's good. That's good.
So they're not really cutting the book. They're just changing the title, and they're keeping the number.
Are they keep going with the numbers?
I'm pretty sure they're keeping with the numbering. Yeah,
because the whole thing with me was, obviously I started reading Red Hood Rebirth from the beginning, and then I stopped it because I just didn't like the team of Artemis and Bizarro that much. So I stopped, and then I heard that he got redesigned and he's going to go solo, and it was just going to be called Red Hood Outlaw. I was like, yes, and that's when I jumped on, and that's why I like his new look, even though all you guys get so angry about it. That's why I like him being a solo character. And then, even though at the moment, the last few issues I read, Bizarro and Artemis are back, and I actually don't mind them now. Now that they've been away, I kind of look at it differently. So I actually don't mind them now. Artemis is pretty cool, actually. I do like Artemis.
Anyway. All right, getting back to fandom. Yeah.
So I guess the main ones I want to talk about. We won't talk about everything that came out, but your thoughts on the Batman trailer?
Oh, straight to the jugular, huh? I don't know. Like, obviously, I try to limit myself with trailers because, like everyone else, we all have fallen into the trap of seeing a great trailer and then going to see a movie and it just sucks. Case in point, Suicide Squad. What a great trailer that was. The original, the first, the David Ayer film. Great trailer, great song in the trailer. It was just so well edited and so well done. It got you excited. Then you go watch the film and you go, what the hell was this junk? So we had so many inconsistencies. Great casting, but just inconsistencies in the story. Anyway, so I tried to limit myself with trailers. That's one reason. But I thought the Batman trailer gave you enough to not give you away of the story, but to show you Robert Pattinson in the suit, to show you, everything that, being leaked onto the internet, like the casting and, and the car. So I thought it was good. But, I'm kind of over the whole grounded sort of dark Batman. I'd love to have seen a more of a
Adam West.
I'd love to see a more superhero Batman, like a Ben Affleck Batman, type superhero type Batman. story, not a dark, grounded Batman. I mean, even though it makes sense to do that, but it's just been done before. I think it's too soon, to be honest.
Really? But I think this looks like it's going to be a very detective-y kind of film, which is what people want, isn't it?
Yeah, and that's cool. And if they do that, that's great. I wish they do that. But that's been said in the past. It's going to be more detective-y. But, you know, detective doesn't sell detective work, and cop stories don't sell tickets at the box office, man. And that's a reality. It's Biff and Pow and
probably a good
and
thing.
You know, all that stuff. Hey?
But that's kind of a good thing. I feel like this movie has the same sort of feel and realism to it as, like, I guess Joker did.
Maybe. I mean, that's a big call. I mean, Joker is.
But it doesn't have, like, maybe it's not going to have more, like, you know, things like 89 Batman shooting the bloody grappling hook and all that. You know, you're not going to see that sort of stuff.
What's wrong with that?
Nothing's wrong with that. I'm just saying it's a different. It's a different.
Bring back George Clooney and the bat nipples. I want the bat nipples and the George Clooney credit card. I want that. I want that back. All right. Look, anything's going to be better than that. So, look, it's just wait and see. The trailer looks awesome. I love the logo. The way the logo came in and it scrolled in and out. That was very well designed. And coming from a graphic designer, I thought that was very, very clever. I love stuff like that. So, and even the whole in the beginning where he's ripping we hear the gaffer tape being ripped and you see the logo, the old classic logo, the Warner Brothers logo. I love that stuff. Same with the Wonder Woman trailer, the way they went with the 80s logo and the TV, VHS sort of stuff. And I love that stuff. So, look, we'll wait and see. Hopefully it's a good Batman film, you know?
Yeah.
I agree.
All right.
Next.
We'll move on. Because you do play video games. So tell me what your thoughts on the Gotham Knights. You saw the Gotham Knights trailer?
Yeah.
Thoughts?
Yeah, it looks all right. Like I just hope it lives up to what you see. Again, it's a trailer, you know. So, you know, like when I don't know, like I remember when Arkham Knight came out or Arkham Asylum came out, Batman Arkham Asylum, and I didn't get it straight away. I just thought I'll wait and see what it's like. You know, I always do that with video games to see reviews and stuff, and everyone loved it. So I said, yeah, I'll check it out. It's one of my favorite games. I at least play it at least every 2 years. I love that game. I shoot through it like flat out. Arkham Asylum was great, but Arkham City is the bomb. Just the city opens up. It's just so good.
Yeah, well, I just feel like I'm still playing that first game, and I've been playing for 100 years. I just feel like I've got to finish it before. I've got to finish it before I go to the other games, right?
Yeah, correct.
All right.
It just adds to everything. Just adds. It's such a great game. So interactive.
Now, what did you think of? I only saw the Suicide Squad trailer that showed like 50 characters that are in it, and that's the only one I saw.
Movie or the game?
It was like a little. No, we'll go with the movie first. It was like a little teaser that just showed all the different characters that are in it, and I was like, "Who are all these people?"
Yeah, I don't. They're basically. To be honest, I've never heard some of some of them, and I imagine some of them are made. I'm not sure if some of them are made for the movie.
Yeah.
Like that Mongol, like Mongol, but a girl. I mean, I've never heard of her. So I mean, and good on him. Go for it, man. The more characters you create, the more buzz you're going to create around everything that comes after it. I mean, and it looks good. I mean, if it's set in the 70s, I mean, get ready for some really cool 70s music in the soundtrack, just like what James Gunn did with Guardians. So obviously that's why they hired him, you know, to give you that same feel as Guardians.
All right. Now, just before I go on to the next one, in the chat, people who are watching, if there's any questions you have for Mark, just because I want to wrap this up before we get to an hour. So if there's any questions you got, because I do have a fan question from Mark that I've got written down. Someone wanted to ask
question, which he told me about it, but he didn't tell me the question. So this is going to be a big surprise.
That's right. That's right. It's not a hard. Oh, it is a hard question for you probably. But so just the Suicide Squad game, I guess it's hard to judge because all they did was release the little like a video bit. They didn't release gameplay of it.
Yeah.
But your thoughts on what you saw?
If it's Rocksteady, I'm in.
Nice.
That's all. If it's Rocksteady, I'm in.
Because Rocksteady did the Arkham games, did they? Or
yeah, that's right. Same developers. Yeah. As long as it's Rocksteady, I'm in.
All right. So that will wrap up. But let's go to some.
Are we going to talk about the Snyder Cut in the trailer? The Snyder Cut. Brendan wants to talk about.
Sorry. Yes, we'll talk about the Snyder Cut. Otherwise,
the Snyder Cut. Come on, man. Brendan's like my go-to guy.
I know. Okay.
Snyder Cut rumors and news, and he loves Snyder Cut. This guy, look at him. He's got the JL top on and everything.
Yeah. Right, so
trailer showed us pretty much a lot of the scenes that were cut out of Joss Whedon's version. So it looks great. And that scene at the end when Ben Affleck is giving that speech about he's never faced anyone like us united. That was a great. That I don't know how did not make it into the original.
I'm really excited to rewatch Justice League and then watch Snyder Cut straight after it, so I can see what was in it and what wasn't. So that's what I'm excited to do.
Mark is the sidekick. Are you serious?
All right. So next, we'll go one by one. The next question is, who does Mark's hair? All right, this is a good one.
I do my own hair.
You should have seen it last week when he delivered my books. He had that mad scientist thing going on. All right, this is a good one. From the Grey Man himself, what would your superhero name be?
Oh, my superhero name?
Yes.
Oh, I would probably go. I would call myself. I'd probably go like an anti-hero, like the Punisher, and if it was superhero, geez, that's a tough one. I've never really given it a thought. I haven't really given it a thought. Huh?
My superhero name, because I created this character in DC Universe when they had DC Universe Online. I created my character, and he was called Red Spade. Huh? Get it? Red Spade, because the spade's black. And black, yeah. Red Spade. Yeah.
And what would be his power set?
He'll have rage. Will be his power. When he gets angry, he gets very strong.
I don't know. I would probably. I'd probably go something like I don't know. Something called maybe the Bagman.
The Bagman.
Yeah. So the idea would be, not that I've thought about it at all. The Bagman. He would be a sort of like a Deadshot or Deathstroke type character, Punisher type character, and his calling card would be he would leave his victims for the police in body bags.
All right.
And so that's why he would be called the Bagman, obviously dubbed by the media as the Bagman.
Beautiful. All right. So to answer J2K's question, Bagman is definitely Red Spade's sidekick. And, Sharon can back me up on that one. All right. Ooh.
Come on.
I'm like, oh no, don't say that. Brendan will get upset. Okay. So is that Spade or Spade with an E? With an E. The memory of golf. Okay. So all right, we'll wrap up in a second. So I've got a fan question for you, and it's very basic, but again in the chat. So for you guys watching, thank you,
man. Bin bag costume. That's a good one. You like it? Yeah. The ones with the string, the ones with the string, you go like that, and they go like that. Those ones. Only quality, mate. Only quality.
For everyone who watched today, thank you guys so much. But I just wanted to let you know that I originally planned to do this literally as a once-off, this live stream. It was just going to be a one-shot. But let us know if you would like me and Mark to do another one before our lockdown is up, because I had a lot of fun doing this, and I had a lot of fun the other day when I did my test stream. So I will probably start doing more live streams, and usually around this time of the day too, just to cater for all the US people in the US and overseas. For Grey Man, it's probably like 3 a.m. right now. But yeah.
Well, thanks for doing that, Grey Man.
So let us know how you, if you guys want to see more of this, and thank you guys so much for watching. But here is the final question of the day, right? From your biggest fan, Matilda Gothica. She couldn't be here because it's like 4 a.m. over there, I think, in Israel. So she wanted to know who your favorite character is. It's a tough question, isn't it?
I've got 3. I haven't got 1. It's too hard.
Okay, you can go 3. Let Matilda know your top 3.
Batman, Punisher, Wolverine.
Batman, Punisher, Wolverine. Oh, Wolverine. Yes, no, I did know. Okay, cool. Batman, Punisher, Wolverine. Okay, so
definitely.
The funny thing is, if you guys didn't watch, we did an episode called Superhero Fighting Championships or something like that, and I asked Mark who would win out of Batman and Punisher, and he picked Punisher. So let us know in the chat who would win out of Batman versus Punisher. Let us know now.
Come on.
I want to know. Because I do these polls on my Instagram, and Batman never loses. Batman beats Superman. Batman beats Thor. I'm like, man, how can this human just beat all these superheroes? There we go. We got Batman from J2K. Excellent.
180 versus 181. Are you talking, Scotty? Are you talking about Hulk, or no? Like Wolverine's first appearance? Which one is it in? Like which one? What I would. I'm guessing that's what you're saying. I don't know, both, man. Why can't I pick both? Why do I have to pick one?
Have you got both? Have you got both?
Have I got both? I did have them, and I sold them. Yes.
Oh, mate, it hurts my feelings when you sell all these cool books.
Well, sometimes you got to sacrifice.
I know. It's going to be a sad day when I sacrifice and I start selling some of my books. All right. Anyway, I think we'll make that it. Thank you guys for joining us. It really meant a lot because this was technically my first live stream was early in the week when I tested, but this was my first real live stream where I felt like I was trying to run a show today. Did I do all right? I feel like I did better than I thought I was going to do. So as much as I love Punisher, maybe Batman. See, not a single person has voted Punisher, Mark. So I was very surprised you said Punisher when I put that matchup on, but good. Everyone.
I still reckon Punisher would go straight to he's the one that would have killed Alfred. See, if it wasn't for it, Punisher would have went. He'd go straight for the belly, mate. He would not stuff around. He wouldn't do none of this, telling him his whole plot thing that all Batman villains do before they kill Batman. They give him the plan. No, Punisher would be like, all over it. He would. Yeah, I would still reckon Punisher would destroy Batman.
I'm glad you had your reasoning though. So you did well. Thank you very much, Mike. All right, guys. Well, thank you for joining us. Say bye, Mark, in the comments.
Bye, Mark.
I think before lockdown finishes, we'll hey Slim, what's up? Before lockdown finishes, I reckon we do this one more time. Mark, what do you say?
Oh, I agree.
Actually, I'll discuss with you after this, but I was talking to Mike that we might even just do a hangout stream where we hang out, drink a few beers, and you guys want to listen to us just talk crap, We'll see how it won't be an episode of the Noob, we'll just be a hangout session. How's that sound?
I don't know. I'm still stuck on beer.
All right. Yeah. Okay. Well, yeah, we'll do it because at the moment I can drink beer because I'm off my diet for a few days. So, yeah. So look, all the buy marks are coming through. All right. We'll end it with that. Thank you guys one more time for joining us, and don't forget to keep it simple.
Keep it simple.
You guys say bye.
Bye, everyone.